Welcome to my workplace comedy, where we talk about the silly boss and the clever assistant. But all these moves drove the original assistant bananas, who's been following Annie around like a lost puppy. Putting in 14 hours a day, she basically became the company's shadow, but couldn't get any recognition. To make matters worse, an old guy took her place, and she couldn't decide whether to laugh or cry. I heard that people who sleep less than 7 hours become zombies during the day. I only sleep until 7, I'm about to lose it. I'm down to 5 hours a night, and it's making me nuts, but my boss is still counting on me. Soon enough, she discovered a huge problem. The ad spending was a bottomless pit. It's taken men 40 years to figure this out, and now I get it. When she shared her observations and solutions, she made sure to credit her little assistant, and it was like a light bulb went off for Annie. I know, I zoned out for a sec, but I'll remember what to say to her. One day, the company website had a meltdown, and her mom decides it's the perfect time to call. Just when she thought things couldn't get worse, Mom berated her, so she vented to her partner. But just as she walked into the office, it hit her, she accidentally sent those complaints to her mom. And her mom has a serious heart condition. If she sees that email, it could send her to the ER. In a panic, she summoned the tech team to hack into Mom's email. However, the thought left everyone stumped. They were out of ideas. Just when Annie was on the verge of going crazy, old Ben stepped forward as if arriving like a hero. Old Ben and some colleagues hatched a plan to sneak into Mom's house before she got home. But surprise. As soon as they opened the door, the alarm bled. Turns out, Mom had a security system. They were petrified. Old Ben hastily called Annie, but she was all calm. She knew her mom too well. She wouldn't spend money on a real alarm system. It must be some fake system she picked up somewhere just to scare off the burglars. Truth or dare, the priority right now is to find the computer and hit delete. To their utter shock, there were actually 2 computers. And just as they were attempting to delete the email, the alarm unfortunately went off. Times out, OSC to times D hat tick plus or minus a quarter half plus or minus 3/4 pounders and 3/4 2 a gross civic letter 4 b 3 circumflex acute letter 3 not sign quarter a grov ai out until the o out paragraph I circumflex divide by micro al hat chick for no a pound. Subtitles. Delete it quickly, remove it from the spam now. They thought they could escape with ease, but outside they got caught up in the music and couldn't pull themselves away. As the sirens bled closer, Chunky jumped onto the hood of the car, and Zina made a quick getaway at the last moment. They made it out successfully, and to thank everyone for their help, Annie treated her co-workers to a celebration drink. Without the full support of her colleagues, her relationship with her mother would have been in deep water. After a few drinks, Annie unknowingly started spilling her struggles of starting a business. Old Ben sensed something was off with Annie and called it a night. As soon as she stepped out of the bar, Annie hurled everywhere. Old Ben acted fast, saving Annie's face. What a hero. Though Annie succeeded in her career, life scales seemed to be wobbly. Her relationship with family was drained by work. Even sharing a bed with her husband felt more about work. At that moment, it dawned on her that if she delegated, she'd have more time for family. Old Ben simply listened quietly, offering no advice, as she knew family and career were equally important. What she didn't expect was, the next day, she accidentally saw Annie's husband getting cozy with another woman. Mind-blowing. Her emotions were all over the place. She figured anyone who cheated on someone like Annie had to be nuts, but seeing Annie smile made her hesitate. As Annie approached, Old Ben felt a wave of panic for some reason. Annie just hoped Old Ben could join her on a business trip to San Francisco tomorrow, but Old Ben was as nervous as a rabbit. She thought Old Ben might not want to take the job, but lo and behold, she still boarded the plane. Throughout the flight, she wanted to say something, but the words just wouldn't come out. She just couldn't bear to let such a remarkable girl in on that harsh truth. Truth will surface on their first night in SF. Annie, nervous about the meeting, invited Ben to her room. What old Ben didn't expect was that Annie had known about her husband's affair for 2 months. It blew her mind. Wait a minute, you know. I saw them together, but I just never expected it would still be happening now. Yet here she was, not knowing how to deal with it. She tried to drown herself in work to feel normal.